Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to episode 18. 18? 18? Yes. Let me check stream up. 18. Episode 18 of the Cloudset the Cloudset podcast. I am the Lin Yoxity, otherwise known as Lin Fare, the conqueror of Kaiden and the ruler of Groira. And this is Yuri, the goddess of the cosmos. And this is Ayumi Yusei, the goddess of creation.
I have a problem.
What's your problem?
I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
Yes, hello, I'm the manager.
Why did we get short introductions and he got the most elegant, most magnificent one? Like his was gigantic.
Valid question. I'm not.
I didn't know.
I'm talking to the manager of the store. Can you quiet down? That's so rude.
Will there be one episode where I can avoid being bullied? I give you an intro, and I give you, like, the thing. You're both goddesses, are you not?
Exactly. Therefore, we deserve the recognition and respect that comes with that title.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's what I was saying. You're the goddess of the cosmos, and Ayumi is the goddess of creation.
But he's like the Linoxity Farake of the Kyron, and he gets like this whole big gigantic.
Because that's
story
my title.
Like, what? But you didn't give us that.
Okay, well then you need to tell me what to give you.
You lost your choice.
You need to tell me what to give you.
The Cloud Kingdom. You know she's the goddess of the cosmos and the stars and the moon. Get her title right. All right. Anyways.
Okay. Can I get a redo? One redo.
Sure, let's see it.
You had 18 episodes to get it right. Yuri, do we
every
really
single episode something changes. Every single episode something changes.
You want to know what's crazy? Okay, so you know how you've been on hiatus all this time, right? And this is your first podcast back since you went on your little break. Well, last podcast, right? I'm like, you know what, Lynn? I'm gonna give you a pass, right? He goes, yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a pass, and he still fucked it up.
What?
What did I do?
Unmute me.
I what?
You kept me muted. And you're like, oh no, they can't hear you.
To unmute you. Because I don't have a button
right now.
No. Stream can muted? No. They can hear you. God. They can hear you.
Hold on, I'm listening.
The gazers can hear you.
Oh my god, the gazers can finally hear us, Yuri.
The only part that you were muted in was the starting soon screen when all audio is muted. Aside from the music. The only reason I forgot to unmute Yuri last episode was not intentional. It was I unmuted the wrong thing, but I thought it was Yuri.
Oh, you missed the muting her. Oh god damn it. This world is so cool.
Because I don't have I don't have any buttons set up. I probably should set up a button.
You know what? Go set up the button. Me and Yuri are taking over. Anyways, welcome to the Cloudset podcast. I am one of the hosts, joined by my beautiful co-host, the bunny girl, the one who rocks the high heels, the one who goes work. Anytime you see her, welcome in, Yuri Luca. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I'm your biggest fan. How are you today?
You are so amazing. You're spectacular. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, thank you.
It's been so long. I'm welcome and felt so loved. God, I've missed you.
I miss you too. Oh my god, I really do. And we also got that guy over there. But anyways, we
I was so disrespected just now. At least when I gave you guys the title, when yes, I fucked it up, I apologize, but I at least did call you your names and at least got most of your title. But I didn't go there's that girl over there and this girl over there, and I'm Lin Yoxity. Lin Fare. No.
To be honest, I didn't even introduce myself. I hyped Yuri up to the max, okay? I didn't even introduce myself.
You hyped Yuri up, and then you're like, yeah, there's that guy over there. Like, and you didn't even go, yeah, and that guy over there. No, you like kind of mumbled it. You're like, yeah, and there's that guy over there. Like, barely audible. Barely audible.
All right, fine. I'll do it over. I'll give you the grace you didn't give us. Ugh. It's so hard to please men. Yuri, like,
what the fuck does this have to do with pleasing men?
He's like, nothing ever makes him happy anymore.
I could make a comment right now because you opened the doorway.
We're also introducing Lynn Farig of Kyron. He's a conqueror, a demon, and an elf. I don't know. He's still figuring out his identity, but that's okay.
I'm a demon elf.
Oh, hold on. You need help.
Yes.
I'm both a demon and an elf. I'm both a demon and an elf. I'm not trying to figure out my identity. I know my identity. I'm half demon, half elf.
I think you're figuring it out. But anyways, I'm Ayumi.
Where do you think these horns come from?
The clouds, and it is a pleasure to be here, Cloud Gazers. I've missed you guys.
We've missed you. We've missed you. We've missed our goddess of creation.
I love Yuri though.
Oh, I love you too. Oh gosh, I miss you so much.
The goddamn disrespect. Where's my attorney? I need my attorney. Attorney. Okay.
He's an attorney. I could be your attorney.
Okay.
He's losing it.
Okay, be my attorney.
For 20 years.
Okay, attorney. Attorney, you say. What are your words of advice to this conqueror, this elf demon?
Listen to the women.
All right, noted, attorney, you say. I will listen to the women. I am shutting up now.
Damn, smart boy.
Wasn't this easy, Yuri? I don't think it was always this easy. He's like,
damn.
Right? He's like folding so easy. I don't need the $20, by the way. I work for free. Because knowing him, he would actually give it to me.
The way that in my mind right now, I honestly debated just simply sending you $20 just because you mentioned something.
I need to take my PayPal away from him. He has too much power. But yes, we are here for episode. What episode is this, Lynn?
18.
18 episodes. You telling me I missed like 5 episodes? I feel like I missed 5 episodes.
It was only like 2 or 3 episodes. But
there was like 1 episode
I can actually go check it.
my hiatus.
I can go check it right now.
It's fine. No. You don't
you only missed 2 episodes.
It's not necessary.
You only missed 2 episodes.
I feel like there was an episode I left early. There was another episode
like that. Like I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
But in terms of your actual absence, it was only 2 episodes.
Oh, I see.
So tell us about it. Tell us about your the reasoning that it just became Lynn and Yuri Yap session.
The Lynn and Yuri Yap session was beautiful. I have to rewatch more of the second one, but
it's all on Spotify.
I love.
You were catching up with it. It's awesome.
Of course. I love it. I love hearing your voice, Yuri. The other guy's okay, but I love hearing you. It's the highlight of my day.
You know, you're the only one who says like they actually like my voice. So that means a lot. I appreciate it.
What? I feel like a bunch of people. Wait, weren't 2 people fighting over you?
Yeah, there were literally 2 people fighting over Yuri.
It was Kingsley and Dino.
Yes. Wait. Also, Yuri. When I stream, there are a couple people who always ask for you too. They're like Rose. Rose's like, "Where are my 2 favorite people?" And there's like, "Hi, where's Yuri?"
Oh,
we've got a little fan base. Like, come on! Oh my god.
People ask where Yuri is, but no one ever asks where Lynn is. I see how it is. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm
kidding.
You trying to pull one of our moves.
I know, right? But to be honest, can we give a shout out to Lynn? He actually pulled through when I asked him to stream while I was on hiatus. Like, he did a really good job. He's been taking care of the community. Like, I've been lurking, and I've just been seeing everybody in his chat, and it's just making me so happy. Even people like I haven't seen in Lynn's chat before has been like going and lurking in there, and I'm just like so happy.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
I've like been staying on top of them. I do know that there's some days like life got in the way when we haven't been able to. It's like staying on top of it, like, yo, you got this, do this. Don't skip this. He's like, I'm gonna cancel this, and you absolutely cannot cancel that. And he's like,
yes. I'll be talking to Lynn. He'll be like, I really got to stream, and I'm like, just go.
Yeah.
And like, there's times like it would get close to his stream time, and I'm just like hitting him up like, hey, shouldn't you be setting up right now? And he's
oh my god.
Like,
speaking of that,
like,
we were watching.
He straight up forgot he had a stream.
We were watching Tower of God.
I was so immersed into Tower of God that it was nothing but Tower of God, and I straight up forgot that I had a collab with Hemi.
He tells me he got a text from Yuri. He said, "Oh shit, my collab starting right now." I said, "What?"
I was panicking because Yuri was DMing me, Hemi was DMing me, and I'm over here not having anything set up, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, see, look, how I knew that like something was up was the fact that I didn't get that notification from you saying that you're setting up or like you're going live, and I know like your whole setup process or anything like that, and I was just like, oh no, where's Lynn?
No.
Shout out to manager Yuri, to Yuri here, co-host of Cloudset, because she's been keeping me very much on top. Oh, Star followed us. Oh, I just realized that. I'm looking over here at our I'm over here and I see Stariety followed you 12 days ago.
Let's go!
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Hi, Star. Anyways, I'm over like Yuri very much like I know I'm very annoying to manage sometimes because I'll suddenly cancel for no reason. At least to Yuri, like the reason I know the reason. It's just I don't tell Yuri the reason sometimes. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I'm canceling today, and Yuri's just like, there. What the fuck?
Honestly,
you're hiding things.
But no, she's been like making sure that I am very much on top of stuff. She's been reminding me of collabs. We were doing our meeting earlier today, and there was a collab that I completely forgot about. I gave Yuri a note. Like, at least what I try and do the best I can of being like being like, okay, this is gonna happen at some point in time, send a note to Yuri. And I send a note to Yuri. Because my dumbass will forget about it. I think about too many things. And I mean, you both know my thought process.
Imagine a board with sticky notes, and then some are falling off, and then while you're trying to pick up the ones that fell, more get added. So every time you turn around, there's more that's just getting added. So there's like 1 million sticky notes. Those are all his thought bubbles. Yeah. And he's like trying to tell you everything at once.
Yeah.
He'll send me like a wall of text, and then like I have to make sense of it and organize it all into the schedule.
He's like, okay, I know this is Wednesday, but also on Wednesday I have this. So sometimes I'll mix in things because it's on his mind. I'm sorry, wait.
The other day, like somebody texted me like, hey, just clarification, like what time is this stream supposed to be starting today? And I was like, oh, it's going to start at this time and this time zone, but it's going to be this and this time zone. They're like, okay, cool, great. See y'all then. I was like, awesome, have a good day. And then this motherfucker completely changed it. And I was just like, Lynn! I was like, what's the point of me writing all these times, having to schedule just for you to change it? Now you made me to be a liar and not efficient at my job. How dare you?
What she's referencing is I did a stream 6 hours early.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
She straight up came into chat being like, Lynn, what the fuck?
I was ready to fight.
She was ready to throw hands. I was like, uh-oh. When I could tell, she's like, Lynn, why are you streaming right now? And I could tell, like, internally, I was like, oh, I probably should have told her that I'm trying to stream earlier, you know? Casually just turns away. But no, but like right now, like in terms of streaming wise, I think I've been doing pretty good. And now Yuri's current challenge is getting me to edit a video.
Yeah, you've been lacking.
Yeah. I'm not.
Like-
I'm not even gonna. I'm not even. I've been. It was first. It was House of the Dragon. Then it was Tower of God. Now it's Black Clover.
Yeah, you're lacking, my guy. You were lacking. We are going to get you back on track. Cause oh my god, I've never seen you do this before. So I'm just like, what is happening? Lynn threw me a fucking curveball.
But she's adapting. She's like being like, okay, Lynn, what? Like now, in my defense, this week was actually, I think I have a valid reason for why I didn't edit this week.
Yeah.
So next week, though, I feel like
Yeah,
what
which, I mean,
Hmm?
I'm pretty lenient as long as I get like that heads up, like things are changing, and I'm like, okay, because then I know to adjust things like on my end as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But shout out to Manager Gary. There's also a couple streams that are probably weeks away, but that Yuri has been an absolute. Just shout out to Yuri. She's doing something that I definitely would have been overwhelmed, and frankly, a little, because I'm trying to collab with 2 streamers, and I respect these streamers a lot, right? And I'm over here being like, they know me and I know them, and I've known them for a couple years now, and I'm too scared to fucking try and arrange this. And so I was like,
Yeah,
I
no,
would
I'm
love
on
to
it.
collab with them. And then Yuri's like, would you? Would you like to be? Would you like to be? All right, Lynn, I got this. And she
Lynn
does.
was like cracking up on my way doing the thing.
You're like, all you heard was me being like, I want to collab with X and X, but, and you're like, Lynn, shut up, I'm already doing it.
I'm on it. You just had to say the names, and I was already in the DMs.
She literally was. And then she DMs me yesterday being like, Lynn, are you available at so-and-so today? Manager collab things. And I'm like, oh shoot. She's doing stuff. And we did things. And now she knows things for more future things. And so, hell yeah.
Yeah. We're getting it there.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly but surely. It's happening.
Slowly but surely. And also, can I just say, like, every single episode of, like, there's our format. We start, we introduce ourselves. I'm Lynn, this is Yuri, and this is Ayumi. Then we kind of, we bully Lynn. Like that's just, I think, but it's like every single, I know you do. You've been bullying me for the last 2 years. And you're going to bully me for many more.
Probably.
I don't want to distract you. What were you going to say?
Every episode brings something different. Something always different happens. Like you may think that one would get like the bullying Lynn, for example, would get old. No, I can promise you will never get old because my reaction's the same. It's like it's the same stuff over and over again, but in a way it's different, and each and every single time my reaction's the same. Each and every single time. But yeah. Anyways, I think I've yapped enough. Yuri over here has a very, very fun topic that I know nothing about.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm handing. Imagine I'm handing the steering wheel over to Yuri now.
It's so funny. She's like, "Oh God, the pressure's on."
Oh, Yuri thrives under this. Like.
She
I do. No, she triumphs. Me already fumbling. I do? What do you mean? Wait a minute. Oh fuck.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. Like the 2 extroverts are forcing you to drive right now. Okay. Well, I mean, Yuri, I don't know anything about how to start what you wanted to talk about. So,
well, honestly, a good way to start about it is, I love me some babes. Don't you love you some babes, guys?
I mean,
Some pretty
yeah.
babes.
I don't know where this is leading, but yeah, sure.
Hold on, I got you. Let me cook. Hold on.
Okay.
Watch this.
Okay. Letting her cook.
I really love a beautiful woman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like women who just like stand out. They just really they just have this certain suaveness about them.
Mm-hmm.
And there are like a few women that Yuri who wants to talk about that like led led a charge in how they stood out back in like what year was it? In the early
1960s.
The 1960s. They really led a
1950s,
charge.
1960s. Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
1950s, 1960s.
Yeah.
They really led a charge into like what I would say shaped women's image today,
Well, potentially, actually, yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. But Yuri, why don't you
So
correct me?
it's no secret that like I'm a big fan of people like Audrey Hepburn, and this is how the whole entire debacle of a mess happened. Well, not a mess, but like the whole entire deep dive
It was definitely
happened.
a deep dive.
Yeah, it was a deep dive. I was just like, what in the fuck is going on here? Like, I gotta figure this out. Okay, so fuck. Sorry. Hey, I'm also trying to like put a dollhouse together, and the glue is really fun. That's why I was like, kind of put on the spot, kind of not, and it's just like, cause I'm struggling a little
Take
bit.
your time.
Physically right now, and also my mind focus. But no, so I'm a huge fan of Audrey Hepburn. She got her start in the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
And one of her top number one most iconic movies is Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Ooh.
Oh, I remember this
But
conversation.
Yeah, shush, Lynn. Don't get ahead of me.
I was just saying I remember the conversation.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, don't spoil it. But anyway. So I deep dive into this because it's a known fact that it still bothered the author to this day, or how long he lived. That he originally wrote this role because it was a book before it was a movie. He originally had wrote this with the mind of Marilyn Monroe in his head. He pictured Marilyn playing this role. But Marilyn did not play it. Audrey Hepburn played the role of Holly in Breakfast at Tiffany's. And the reason being, Marilyn Monroe's acting coach, said she does not think this role would be good for her image. And the quote was, "I don't think it would be good for us to play a lady of the night, aka a call girl," which is basically a hooker, prostitute, whatever. But so Marilyn passed on it. Then it went to another actress. She passed on it. Then it went to another actress, and she passed on it. Well, then the fourth actress, they asked Audrey Hepburn, and she did it. She accepted. She was going to pass on it because she was focusing on her children because she still had really small children. I think she had like a newborn at the time too.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, so she was like really focusing on like her kids at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But her husband, from my understanding, if I remember, I think it's like her husband encouraged her to take the role, so she took it.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, okay, and she did phenomenal in this role. This was the movie that kind of really, I would say, what skyrocketed her career. Now she got her start as her very first movie role, which did really, really well and actually won her awards. Was Roman Holiday, and that was back in the 1950s. I think it was 1953 that she did this. Breakfast at Tiffany's came out in 1961.
Oh.
So when I lost my train of thought there for a sec.
You're good.
So I was sitting there thinking, and why in the world did Marilyn's coach actually make her skip on this role? Because if you watch the movie and stuff, nowhere does it hint at, insinuate, lead you to the idea, believe, or anything that Holly is a call girl.
Yeah, no.
It just shows her being really social. She knows people, she has connections, and she throws this one big party. During one of the scenes, it's just one big humongous party with all these different type of people. And the only other thing is that she knows a man in prison that she goes and she tells the weather to. But this man's in shady business, like he's like some kind of gangster or whatever. But like she's like, oh, I don't know. And she's like, he just put an ad and asked for like someone to come talk to him, keep him coming, and tell him what the weather is. And she's just like, it's an easy $50. Why not? Which I'm like, you know what? Easy, yeah, bet. Just show up at the prison, have a chat with this guy, and leave. Like, done deal. That's it. That's the only stuff that Holly does. And like her goal is to, find a well-off suitor to marry off to and things like that. So this role seems like it's pretty right up Marilyn's alley.
Right.
But because Holly is supposed to be a call girl, what they call it, is her coach told her to skip it. So I started looking to why, because I'm like, well, what all the roles did Marilyn play? And how could they even possibly reflect on her actual character, real life? Because how possibly could this role like affect her image? Because it definitely didn't fit Audrey's. Audrey is known as being this very classic beauty.
Yeah.
Whereas Marilyn is the sexy bombshell beauty type girl.
I see it. You're right.
So Audrey is grace and class. Marilyn's is all the glitz and glamour. So I had only watched one movie only with Marilyn Monroe in it, and that was Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And that's probably one of her top iconic movies where she plays a dumb blonde, basically. So I started watching a few more of her other movies to see, I'm like, well, what other roles did Marilyn play? So
didn't Marilyn do a lot of stuff like in New York? Like New York related
what do you
films?
Mean, like, she probably did a few of them, but she pretty much was. They didn't really give too much of a setting like that, like point blank let you know that that's where they're at. A few of them they will like, hey, this is where we're at. And other movies like, oh, she's traveling around, or she's just here in this club in some town city, or she's out a cafe, or just walking through. It don't. Sometimes they specify, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it could just be like any type of street or place, anywhere, honestly.
I see.
But now the real life Marilyn, whose name is Norma Jean. Now she did love New York, and she loved going to New York because people did not crowd her there. They didn't follow her around, they didn't bother her, nothing. She could just be a regular everyday person, believe it or not. But there's a secret as to why she could. But I'll get to that later. Okay. I'll touch on that later. So back to this acting coach and the movies and things like that. So in Gentlemen Prefer Blonde, she plays this single woman looking for a wealthy man who's playing kind of basically ditzy in a way. And that was the only role that I know I have, reference to her from. Which, nothing wrong with that role. Nothing scandalous about it whatsoever. So I started watching her other movies. And I came across The 7-Year Itch in 1955 is when this movie was released. And now this movie is based in New York City and Manhattan. And one, I hate the fucking intro of this movie. There is absolutely no reason or need for the intro of this movie to be there. Given today how we are in society, I feel like it was done in poor taste. I don't think we should have shown this intro. And it's really hard for me to say because I cannot tell if they are wearing body paint or not, trying to represent indigenous people, because they're trying to make it out to be like this is a tradition that's been since the beginning of our time here, and it has continued on to modern day. So, but anyways, this tradition is that all the married men, will send away their wife and kids. I can't remember where they said they send them off each summer during Manhattan, while in Manhattan, because the summer heat in Manhattan is brutal. So they say. So they send their wives and kids away to some place that's a little bit cooler so they enjoy the summer and not burn up, and the men will stay behind to continue working. But so do the single women. The single women stay behind as well. So throughout this whole entire movie, this married man done the same, sent his wife and his son off, for vacation. He stayed behind to work. And he's left alone in his apartment. Well, there's this model who lives upstairs, played by the role of Marilyn, whose name I cannot remember. She stays in the apartment above them, and he ends up meeting her. Well, he ends up hanging out with her throughout the whole entire movie, but throughout the whole entire thing, he is fantasizing about this woman.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, and he keeps running. He's like, I'm a married man. He said, I'm a married man. I'm a married man. I won't cheat. But I'm like, you've already cheated because you'd already emotionally cheated. You're dreaming about this woman. You're fantasizing. You're fantasizing so hard that it's actually interrupting your day-to-day moments of life. You're starting to act out these scenes while alone and things like that. So I was like, you're already emotionally cheated on your wife, whether you want to admit it or not. But anyways, so like I said, they end up hanging out. She knows he's married. But still he keeps inviting her out. Like he invited her out to dinner and to a movie. He invites her to stay in his apartment because he has AC in his apartment, whereas hers doesn't. And 3 times it happens throughout the movie where she's the one who initiates it, kisses this married man. And what really pissed me off, and I was like, yo, your acting coach is such a fucking hypocrite, was the fact at the very end of the movie, before he actually does something he regrets, or before word gets out that he's hanging out with this bombshell of a single woman who he's been letting stay in his apartment with him and things like that, because like guilt finally starts to get to him. He says, you know what, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off from work. I'm going to go see my wife and son and spend a vacation with them. Well, she kisses him one final time. And he goes to the wipe the red lipstick off, and she says, no, don't. And if your wife asks, tell her it's cranberry sauce.
What?
So he leaves his house with her, and he goes, hey, feel free to use the apartment for 2 weeks because nobody's going to be here and you don't burn up in the heat, but feel free to use it, and just leaves with the lipstick still smeared on his mouth. And I'm just like, so her acting coach told her to skip the freaking role of Holly in Breakfast at Tiffany's because it would be bad for her image, but they are 100% okay with her playing a person who encourages adultery. Got it. Loud and clear. I was so fucking pissed. Because I'm like, bad for her image, right? Like, God forbid if she plays a really sociable woman. But hey, messing around with the married man, that's okay. And unfortunately, that was true IRL because Marilyn did mess around with married men.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
She's notoriously known for having an affair with President JFK.
Sorry, what?
What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is why I was like,
sorry.
I'm deep diving and all this. I'm like, it's not going to make sense, but it will once I like start pulling everything together.
And her acting coach said that was a bad role for her, despite this. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, see, well, I was like, her coach is such a fucking hypocritical bitch. I was just like, they passed up on $1 million role for Marilyn. That would have been so good. And it's the role that plays right up her alley. But they skipped on it, which thankfully I'm glad they did, because why? We got Audrey in that role and she did amazing, and I honestly cannot picture anyone else playing that role. But yes, she did have an affair with JFK.
Really?
So
that is crazy to me.
Yep. So the fact is that him and her met in 1954. But they were like just friends, like nothing really was going on. But it is quoted that when JFK got bored with Marilyn, he did kind of like pass her on to his brother. Later on, we all know about the famous birthday dress and birthday scene and everything of Marilyn singing "Happy Birthday" very sultry to JFK at his birthday party.
I didn't know
on
about this.
TV. Yeah. So she sings a very sultry, sexy "Happy Birthday" to JFK, and it's caught on camera. Like it was broadcasted, and that's what actually sparked the rumors that JFK and Marilyn Monroe were having an affair in 1962.
Wow, that is crazy.
And here's where it gets a little bit more crazier. Hang on, I gotta pop some popcorn real quick.
Snacking while telling a good story.
I sat up in my chair. I crossed my legs. I'm like over here. I'm like, oh, we're getting into the tea. I'm like, the tea is real here. Because like, like the fucking the fact that like her acting coach said like, hey, this is a bad role for you. But then Marilyn Monroe is like messing with...
Marilyn Monroe said, did you really think I couldn't pull it off? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so yeah, I'm back. So yeah, keep in mind that Graphics at Tiffany's came out in 1961. The rumors of JFK and Marilyn Monroe came out in 1962 because she sang a sultry "Happy Birthday." So that's what sparked it. And then, unfortunately, a few months later, Marilyn Monroe passes.
Oh.
And it's a little odd how she died. No one's the official. So they say the official ruling is that she committed suicide because they say they found her with a bottle of pills beside her, but they said she also had her phone in her hand as though she was making one last phone call to somebody. To who, we have no idea. But that's what they're saying.
Oh, because
but other people suspect
this is before they can track phones.
Before they can do any of this. Yeah. Unless you're already like on that line already, but yeah, before any of that, fancy dancy technology that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, other people suspect that she was murdered. Oh, but here's another little you're gonna be like, what? Fact about. So there was this policeman that actually had done a huge bust on Hollywood for the casting couch.
Casting couch? What's casting couch again? Like I've heard the term many times.
It's when you take advantage of a lot of younger actors for sexual acts and things like that to guarantee they get a role in movies.
Yep. The casting
so that's the
okay. I see.
Yeah, the casting. So, so he had busted a huge casting couch ring.
Oh shit!
And he did it with wiretapping and things like that. Collected all the evidence, got physical evidence of the wiretapping, and all that stuff. Like he got it all. So this same policeman actually wiretapped one of JFK's rooms, I think for one of the vacation places that they went or whatever. And there is actually a tape of recording of Marilyn Monroe and JFK having sex.
Sorry, what? There's what?
Yep. He caught it and confirmed those rumors that yes, they were indeed having an affair.
Oh my God.
What?
Now, it was not his intention. I don't think it was an intention to catch it. I think he was like hired to do something else or whatever, but it caught that. So, hey, sex tapes before sex tapes were a thing. It's audio.
Who would have thought that it'd be with a fucking president that sex tapes would become a reality?
Oh my god.
So.
Wow, that is some tea. That is some tea. I hope gazers, I hope you guys are getting your cups, getting your snacks, because I think we're in for a lot more information.
Okay. Hang on, let me get this popcorn. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, I mean, what are your thoughts currently so far on what Yuri has said?
Jesus, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it had me thinking a bunch of things. So when she was talking about how Marilyn Monroe didn't get the role, in my head I was like, what if her agent didn't want her to get the role because she was already in like to save her image? She did, because if she gets diminished, that's his money gone, right? So I was like, oh my god, what if he was trying to protect his pocket but also protect her image? So that's one thing I thought. And then the second thing, right? Marilyn Monroe died, but she was a loved person, right?
Yeah, she was a pretty well-known and well-liked person.
Right. So this is just my head spiraling, okay? I don't remember nothing about the history. I don't remember nothing. Like nothing.
Yeah.
So my head went immediately. I was like, oh my God, what if they killed the Marilyn Monroe? And then to get back at JFK because she's the reason he died, what if somebody hired an assassin to kill him?
Oh my! Oh wow! Yeah.
Yo, my head went spiraling.
Your head went spiraling. You are going and getting spiraling. Just for reference, everyone, she is not actually saying she knows how. She's saying
nothing.
She's just saying that this is a thought process that she went.
This is just a thought process.
We are not.
We're not detectives. I don't know nothing.
There is an actual, apparently, a whole video on how JFK was assassinated.
And that's perfect. Great. That's
go
perfect.
watch that.
Debunk what I just said. Yeah. For reference, go debunk whatever I just said. This is just my head spiraling. I'm a fucking writer, okay, guys? I literally can't help it.
She goes and thinks and like, yeah, so Marilyn Monroe was killed, and to get back, they decided to assassinate the president.
But wouldn't that be a fucking great story, though?
Oh, imagine. I mean, no, that is a crazy story.
And then I can imagine it in the eyes of like Gatsby, like like how they wrote The Great Gatsby.
What's that?
You don't know The Great Gatsby?
What's that?
You're a film major. Even I know what The Great Gatsby. Oh my god, baby boy, come on.
What the hell did you study in school then?
I just graduated high school last year. There was no film.
Last year?
When you
were 19?
Yeah, I graduated when I was 19.
Why were you in high school for so long?
Because I had to redo 7th grade. Which wasn't my fault.
Lynn was a super senior!
What's a super senior, huh?
Bro. Okay, thank you. A super senior is someone who gets back.
I've never heard of this term.
Well, you haven't gone to public school before. It's from public school.
This is true. It was like
You're a super senior? Yo, that's your new nickname.
No! You can't give me a nickname about something that I don't know.
You're a super senior. I gotta give you the public school like lifestyle. Like you gotta get bullied.
Okay, you know what? You know what? I'm a super senior. I'm taking this as a compliment. I'm taking being called a super senior bitch. Good luck trying to rob me.
I gotta rob you. It's not a compliment. It's the least thing from a compliment. To be called a super senior means that you not only were you in school longer than you were supposed to. Yo, there was a super senior. This is so off topic, and this is I shouldn't be talking about this. But there was this one super senior we had in high school, and yo, I swear. He was there 3 years after he was supposed to be graduated. I think he was in high school. You're supposed to be in high school for 4 years. He was in there for 8.
Jesus.
How?
I don't know. He was just there for 2, like because he was supposed to graduate when I was a sophomore. I think I met him when I was a sophomore, and he was still there when I was a senior, bro. So He was a senior when I was a sophomore. So how come you still a senior when I'm a senior? Something ain't adding right. Something ain't adding right.
Something ain't
But
adding
anyways,
up. Well,
yeah.
I'm taking it as a compliment because I did great. Like my first year of high school wasn't great, but because it was a new school and everything. But then I went from having failing grades to maintaining nearly straight A's for the remainder of my high school career.
You had no choice. After you done fucked up, you had to redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
But I did. The fact is, I did. I knew people in my class who were failing badly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I was in the ghettoest school ever. Like, not really ghetto, but like ghetto. Like, I'm talking about people were copying off of me. I wasn't a straight A student. Actually, I kind of was. Not really. I was more like, I was a B student. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I kept low on the radar. I never really tried. Okay. I graduated with honors though. I graduated with honors. Yeah.
I did an
honors
honors class. This is what really fucked me was there was one class that I did really good in thing. So I went into high school and they gave me an honors course in English, and this course, they did not know how to set up online courses and stuff. Basically, this is how my school was. It was, hey, this is what you need to learn. This is what you need to do. Here's all your assignments. Here's everything. But by the way, we're not going to give you any videos to really teach you anything, and you're not going to have teachers that really teach you anything.
So you experienced public school for the first time?
No. It was okay. Basically, what it was is it was like a college kind of. I didn't even know. Like it was just a whole bunch of text, and I'm just sitting here being like, huh? They don't even explain how to do the assignments properly. It was very much it was just like, yeah, and then like you wouldn't be able to even retake anything, or redo. So it's like if they misled you the instructions, like there was one time I did an English course, and I actually had a pretty bad teacher who would grade it, because like I would do the assignment and then she'd be like, she'd grade it and I'd get low grades. And I'd be like, why? And there's like, in the feedback, it'd be like a whole completely different set of instructions. And also I remember getting kind of like berated. Like, she was like being like, and sometimes if I remember right, being rude of like being like, how did you even get, like rudely being, how did you get here? What the fuck? Like it was very rude and aggressive. I remember I didn't like that English teacher because I had other teachers.
Oh, it was English.
Yeah, it was English.
Don't worry, I got you. I'll show you the ropes, kid.
I did fine in English. I just didn't like the teacher.
No, don't worry about it. I got you. I'll show you the ropes, kid.
Why do I need to be shown the ropes? I don't need to be shown the ropes for anything.
You need to be shown the ropes.
I graduated already.
I don't know. You was a super senior. I don't know.
You still have to help him write this book?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway.
The way I'm looking at you, Ayumi, the way I'm looking at you.
Wait.
I'm looking at you.
All I said was that you were super senior.
Which I said I will take as a compliment.
That you need help with the book that you're writing.
I didn't say anything. That was what Yuri said.
That's what I just said too. I said Yuri.
Oh.
Yuri said. But I agree with her.
Well, I mean, I agree too.
That's why I said, let me help you, little bro. And then you were like, no.
Anyways. We got so off topic. She was so flabbergasted by the fact that I had to redo 7th.
I wasn't flabbergasted. I was just I was shocked. I was shocked. And I combined shocked and astonished.
You were flabbergasted.
I was not flabbergasted.
You were flabbergasted.
If I was flabbergasted, I wouldn't have been able to speak. In fact, I was more than speaking. I was making fun of you. I wasn't flabbergasted. I was astonished. I was. It was so funny. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to correct him.
This all started because they're being like, "What did you study? What film course did you study?" And I'm over here being like,
"Yeah,
I
because
didn't
how do
study
you
a
not know
film
the Great
course."
Gatsby? We're back to where we started. Hold on, little bro. I got you.
Little bro.
The Great Gatsby it's a gay show. All right, that's another theory.
It's a what?
It's a gay show. It's a gay movie. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
I know.
Okay,
it was the Yowie that started the Yowies.
We're going to watch The Great Gatsby as a movie night one night.
Oh my god, I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then I guess that's gonna happen.
When we watch The Great Gatsby, then I can re-explain my joke where I was like, Yuri, did you hear the part where we were like connecting, like we were like throwing theories out?
No.
She came back right at that's how we got here. She missed all the context. Yeah, we were being
right at the tail end of it.
Ben was asking me what did I think about what you were saying about like the assassination and sorry, let me go back.
Yeah, go back. Assassination.
The attempted murder of Marilyn is sorry, quote unquote murder, right? Or she died, right?
It wasn't attempted, she died.
Okay, all right. Let me get it together. Okay, you know why
I'm stumbling. Ayumi.
You know why I'm stumbling. So essentially, right, the way my head works, right? When you talked about Marilyn, you talked about how her agent didn't want her to work in this movie. I feel like it was because since she was in the scandal with JFK, the agent was like, "You're my money bag. If this gets ruined because you're a woman, your life is over and you're not making no more money."
No,
this is just my head. No, this is just in my head. I'll clarify. Like that's what I started with. This is just in my head. This is what I thought. So after I said that, then I was like, so since you were talking about how she was with JFK and Marilyn Monroe was murdered, what if the wife murdered her, and because JFK is the reason why she died, someone else got JFK. That's why he was assassinated. So that's where my head went. Okay, this is just my thoughts. I'm gonna clarify.
This is where I was like, whoa, Ayumi.
This is why we were like, whoa, Ayumi.
It would make for, like you said, like a really interesting fictional
story.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I was like, wouldn't this be a really great story, right? We write this story, but it was written in the point of view, like how The Great Gatsby was written. You know, like how the guy, he's watching everything go down. He's the one.
Yeah, the neighbor, he's like watching every bit of it.
Watching everything go down. So like maybe somebody who's watching everything go down, but not in it.
Who knows, he's like, yeah.
Right? That's what I was thinking. That would be a really great way to read the story. And then he was like, "What the fuck is The Great Gatsby?" And I almost goddamn near kicked him out the call.
Like, this is no longer your part of this podcast anymore.
You're gone. You're kicked out.
I'm kicked out.
Yes,
of my own podcast that I started up.
Whoa!
No. I will say we are co-hosts, but I was the one who approached you about this. I looked in our DMs. I looked in our DMs. No, don't make me scroll back in your DMs.
We were talking with that other person that we no longer converse with.
Yes.
And then we were like, what if we did this? And then you were like, okay,
I approached you.
Yeah, you were like, let's do it.
You.
But it wasn't originally just your idea. It was a common idea that 3 people talked about. Hey, Tony, 3 people talked about it. Okay.
Stop.
Not that take me over the Italian accent commentary.
Stop. If anyone should be doing an Italian accent, it's me because I made pasta today.
What the fuck? No, I should be making, because I went to school and I learned Italian. I don't know nothing of Italian. I don't remember jack shit, but I learned it.
I learned Spanish too.
I
learned Spanish too.
You're kicked out. I'm sorry. After this day, it's vetoed. I'm writing it down.
You veto.
You're
what
out of
veto?
The cups.
No, you can't eject me out of here.
I'm ejecting you.
No.
Ejected.
No.
Anyways, right. Sorry, Yuri. We didn't mean to take over. Welcome back. Did you get your popcorn?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just I don't. What did this turned into like 25 minutes of God knows what.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. I absolutely enjoyed it. I'm just like, wait, sorry, how this all started from Ayumi talking about someone getting back at JFK.
Listen, I'm writing this story, okay? It's gonna be the greatest fan theory ever. And then people are gonna be like, this is how JFK actually is. I'm gonna be like, bitch, can't you read that this is fiction? And that's how I'm gonna.
You should have an entire page right before the first chapter being like, chapter 0.5 disclaimer. This is fiction. This is fiction. This is fiction. This is fiction. This is fiction.
But if fiction. I don't say that it's fiction, like okay, they're clearly stated on the front of the book, but nobody reads that. Okay, nobody reads that shit. Okay, it's clearly stated on the front of the book.
No, because here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have an entire page of being this is fiction, and everyone's gonna still come to you being like, "How the fuck do you know this? This is real." And you're gonna be like, "Nuh-uh."
That's the best part about it. You have to you have to think about the people that don't read, right? They say they read, but do they really? If they're missing what's right in front of their face.
She means no disrespect, gazers. She means.
I'm disrespecting everybody. Y'all motherfuckers don't read, okay? Nobody reads anymore. That's why we're all ignorant. But anyways,
I tried to defend her, and then she went and threw me into the wall and was like, bitch, I don't care what you think. This is what I think. She didn't even think about it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Classic Ayumi.
Wait. I want to clarify. This is not the Cloudset saying any of this. They're valid readers. These two people right here on my sides, they're actually very intelligent readers. Okay, they read on a daily. They I don't want to say compete, but they read together, and they're like, oh my god, Yuri, I've read the 10 chapters, and Yuri's like, you've read the 10 chapters already, and Lynn's like, yeah, they're like reading books and stuff. Okay, I
just realized that I flipped the position of Yuri and Ayumi.
Yeah, that's why I was looking. I was like, oh, I'm in the middle this time. Okay, but anyways, yes.
I just realized this.
They read. They're actually avid readers. Okay, they're very intelligent and they read a lot, and I respect that.
No,
so I will never insult them. Everybody else though.
She's like, these hands are ready to eat for everybody else.
Everybody.
Ayumi really just said, these two by my shoulders are perfectly A-okay. They're avid readers. Everybody else, though, fuck you.
No. Fuck everyone else.
She really said, this is my trio. My trio is safe from harm, but everyone else in the world, you guys are all... Oh, you're fair game.
It's only because I'm a gremlin. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
Why are you apologizing about being a gremlin? You're just a gremlin.
Because I'm just having the time of my life. I'm antagonizing people on the internet. It just makes me so happy. But we're gonna enjoy reading and watching The Great Gatsby. It's actually a really good story. You'll see why. Like people say, it's like.
Are we gonna be watching the one with DiCaprio in it?
Yes, of course. We have to. That's the only one. I don't know.
Well, there's another one. Yeah, this one's actually a remake, but yeah.
Yeah, this is the remake, but this is the only one that I know of.
Yeah.
When I grew up, this is the one that it shaped my history.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even the yaoi that started the yaois, the love that never was meant to be.
She's fucking obsessed with yaoi, everyone. She is so obsessed. She is so utterly obsessed. Listen. Anytime she can talk about it, she will. There'll be times when I'm conversing with her and she'll be like, yeah, I saw this in a yaoi. Yeah, I saw this in a yaoi. And then she'll be like, yeah, there was this manga. It was a yaoi one time that I read that had this one particular story element. Yeah, there was this yaoi one time. She fucking loves yaoi, and that's all. And it's completely I love it. But just know she is obsessed with yaoi.
I grew up with yaoi. I was literally in junior high school reading yaoi, bro.
She will come to you and being like, hey, hey you.
Mhm.
Did you know about this yaoi that came out? To someone who's never read manga ever.
Oh my god, there's this really good one that I'm trying to get him to read because it's like so delicious.
She twice now she's brought up this one. She's like, you should read this. You should read this.
It's
Twice
so
now.
good.
Twice
It's
now.
one of my favorites. That's why.
I guess you just need to try a third time. Third time's the charm, as they say.
I mean, I can force him to read it. It's just a matter of I want him to enjoy it. I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm reading this because Ayumi told me to read it. I want him to like, That's why I only bring it up. I don't tell him to go watch or sorry, read The God of High School. I want him to like do it on his own volition so he enjoys it. Like I showed him a little bit of Tower of God and then he got it. Like I didn't have to do much.
I'm the one who was like, we're not talking. We're not talking. Next episode.
Yeah,
right now.
He
right
literally told me, he said, why are you talking? Play the next episode. I said, what?
I shut her up and I demanded her. I
the
forced her
guy
to
that's like, don't stop talking, Ayumi. I want to hear you talk all the time. He's just like, shut the fuck up. I said, what? I was so appalled. I didn't know how to feel.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. It's fine.
Okay, good. Because I was immersed. I was in. I was
like, you don't want to talk? You don't want to talk about it? You don't want to see what's going on? He's like, no, just keep playing. Don't stop. I'm like, okay. That's interesting.
She fully was prepared to talk and yap all she wanted with me.
Yeah, because that's what
about
he usually likes to do.
That's typically what we do. But like we were at this particular climax, and I was just like, next. No stopping. And then we talked
this
about
train to go. Yeah, then we talked about it, especially after Yuri was like Lynn. Hemi was like Lynn.
I was like, it's like that. We stopped, and I was like,
No, because he literally said, oh my god, my collab started 10 minutes ago. I said, what? I paused the video. He said I was supposed to already be in my collab like right now. And then he said, Hemi just texted me. I was like, oh my god.
But anyways, we really spiraled off topic. Back to Yuri.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Yuri.
Okay, so this brings up another good point. So anyways, so yes, the JFK Marilyn Monroe thing did happen. Marilyn Monroe's acting coach is a hypocritical bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Now my friend did ask me if she wondered why. Maybe because there's rumors is probably why she turned down the role of Holly. But as I pointed out to her, it's like, nope, all this happened before they fooled around or any rumors ever even started. God, excuse me. Keep burping.
Oh, I see.
So I dived into watching more of her movies. And the 7-Year Itch, as we know, pissed me off. I mean, I was entertained, but it still just it made me mad. But the next movie I watched redeemed it. Redeemed everything. It was so good. And it's funny that you bring up BLs, Ayumi. So, the next movie came out in 1959, and it's called Some Like It Hot. This movie was ahead of its time. So, this movie revolves around a character that Marilyn plays in a all-women's band. And these two guys cross-dress to join this band to hide themselves from gangsters that are hunting them because they witnessed a mass murder from this gangster team, group, whatever, from this gang. So they're trying to find these guys so they can, them to keep them quiet so they can't squeal to the cops. Well, so the cops are trying to find them so that they can get the info. So these guys are trying to get out of town quick and fast. And so they overhear they know about because one of these secretary girls kind of trick them into like going in for this thing. just to kind of teach them a lesson or whatever.
Hmm.
And the guy's like, "What? No." He's like, "You're not." He's like, "You're not women." They're like, "Oh, well, we can, dress up." And he goes, "No, you're not women." And his friend's like, "Dude," he said, "we're not that desperate for money." But then later on, they witnessed the mass shooting, and they're like, "Hey, remember that gig out in Florida?"
Mm.
They're like, "We could do that." He's like, "You want us to cross dress to get out of here, to get to Florida, to get it?" They're like, "Well, yeah." And he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm in." So they do that. They dress up as women and join this all women's band,
Ooh.
and they meet Marilyn. I can't remember her freaking name. Well, no, it was oh god, no, it was a play on word name. Like it was, oh god, what was it?
What's the name of the movie again?
Some Like It Hot. She played. I'm gonna have to look it up. Damn it.
You're good.
Sugar King?
Yeah, Sugar Cane. Sugar Cane. That's her name. Her name was Sugar Cane. It was a nickname, but her name was Sugar. So essentially, it literally just sounded like they were like giving her a pet name throughout the whole entire thing about just calling her Sugar. And
Mm.
so she played the role of Sugar. And so I think it was Daphne. Daphne, I think like she or well him who was pretending to be this woman. Like became good friends with her, but then the other guy actually was falling for Sugar. And
Mm.
again, these guys cross-dressed and they stayed in drag throughout the whole entire movie, except for the other guy who would switch out into regular men's clothes to go on dates with Sugar and pretend like he was this millionaire and all that.
Oh.
So they end up lying to her twice because they're trying to hide their real identities of them being men. And they're also trying to hide the fact that he's not a millionaire and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a good movie. It's so freaking funny. Like again, it was ahead of its time. But because of this movie was actually banned.
Banned?
What?
It was banned because it involved men cross-dressing.
Really? And this is when?
1959.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why. So, but I was like, but again, it was ahead of its time. Because by the end of the movie, and this was my own take on it, by the end of the movie, you could argue this, was the fact that it was also subtly making a nod to the gays.
Mm.
Because the actual wealthy man ends up liking Daphne, the guy who's pretending to be this woman. He actually legitimately likes her. And at the end of the movie, he's like giving all these reasons because the guy asked him to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because they go on a date, and he's going on a date to keep him distracted, to keep him off his yacht, so the other guy could take Sugar out on the date on that yacht.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up at first he's disliking because he's like, I can't date a man. What's wrong with you? He's like, a man dating a man. He's like, he's like, I met the women. He's like, take he's like, take it for the team, man. He's like, I want to take Sugar
Take
on
it
the
for
date.
the team is crazy.
He's like, fine. So he does it. He's like, just because he's like, you're my best friend, so I'm doing this for you, type thing. So I was like, that's how you know that's a real homie right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
that's
he
a
ends up
homie.
enjoying himself on this date, and he ends up agreeing to being engaged to this guy.
Oh shit.
So by the end of the movie, he's just like, oh fuck, what have I done? He's like, I can't actually marry him. He's like, what am I doing? So he's trying to break it to him gently because he doesn't
Right.
actually want to hurt this guy because he's like, he's not a bad guy. He's like, he's like, I did enjoy hanging out with the guy. He's not a bad guy. I enjoyed my time and stuff. He's like, I don't want to hurt him.
Right.
So he's trying to give reasons why he would be a bad wife. And so I would say the previous fiance this man was engaged to, she was a contortionist. And the guy looked at them and he says, she at the time, he looked at him as he was in drag and he's like, well, why didn't you marry her? And he goes, oh, my mother didn't approve of her because she smoked.
What?
And so that, yeah, it's a whole entire thing. But anyway, so at the end of the movie, that was one of his reasons. He goes, I smoke like a freight train. I smoke like 5 packs a day. And he's like, That's okay. He's like, but your mother won't like me. He goes, that's fine. I can live with that. And he was like, well, I can't have kids. We can adopt some. And it's like every fucking excuse that he was throwing out at this guy, he was just accepting it, full on accepting it. And finally, he had enough, and he ripped his wig off. And he goes, "I can't because I'm a man, damn it!"
Oh.
Oh
And the
shit.
and he kind of shrugs his shoulders. He goes, "Well, nobody's perfect," and
Oh,
it
no,
is right there.
What?
I was just like, "No fucking way!"
No.
Man just went, nobody's perfect. I mean, I'll take what I get. Like, that man really, like, he's like, I don't care what you try and throw at me. I still like you.
Yeah, and he honestly didn't know he was a man up until that moment. And even that didn't determine. He goes, "No, I'm in love with you."
He's like, what?
And so it kind of leaves it open-ended, I guess, in a way, because you could assume that maybe he did go through with it, or he didn't, because he too wasn't entirely against the idea of marrying him, because he's just like, I'll be set for life. He's like, and I just gotta dress up like a woman every day? Bet. And so, because of that, this movie got banned because of cross-dressing, and as I said, I think it also partly was due to it could be argued that same-sex love is simply just love and slowly promoting it to the public. And here's the crazy thing, or another crazy thing, which is kind of like a round of applause for this company for doing this. So the movie got banned, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was not approved for public viewing across the board. Locally, internationally, was not approved.
Really?
So, United Artists, who it was the company that did this, they ended up releasing the film without its certification, meaning this movie was not approved for viewing, and the company, released it anyways.
Oh shit.
So they put it in theaters any fucking ways. They said, play it.
And how'd it do?
It did good.
Wow.
I remember. I think
Listen,
it did good. I think it still had like
we need to
it was
watch
very
this movie.
controversial. Oh, we need to watch this movie. You're going to enjoy it.
It sounds so interesting, honestly.
It does. Oh.
It is. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's like if it's one of those movies where it's just like if I found it on like DVD, like I would buy it just to have it. So, and I would add it onto my collection of other DVDs over there. So,
oh, that's cool.
So this led me down another rabbit trail.
Oh?
Because I also love the other 1950s icon, Lucille Ball.
Oh, I love her.
I love Lucy. Yeah.
She's good. I've watched the I Love Lucy show many times. That's the only thing I've seen with Lucille Ball.
Well, that's what she's known for. Even though she had actually been acting since she was 12 years old. But she didn't ever get that big moment break in the movies like Audrey or Marilyn or like all the other starlets of that time had got. It was the I Love Lucy show that gave her her big break. And it was literally the most viewed show in all of the country. And still probably, yeah, it was bringing in views and money like nobody's business. And this made me start diving into their actual rating system and their whole entire thing of how they actually rate what's appropriate for stuff to be showed on screen. Because like I said, Some Like It Hot got banned. They didn't want it. And I Love Lucy, I think second season almost didn't happen because she got pregnant.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. And so, and the thing at that time, you weren't allowed to say the word pregnant. You weren't allowed to show pregnancy or anything that could possibly insinuate that somebody had sex. Because if you show pregnancy or even say the word pregnancy, that would have led the spark to, hey, mommy, daddy, what's pregnancy? How's a baby made? Or, oh my God, scandalous, they had sex. Oh no. So they're like, there's no way we can show this. It's a family show. We can't show Lucy being pregnant or even mentioning her pregnant because Lucy and Desi's idea was she'll keep going on the show while she's pregnant. She'll have the baby. We'll show her, her getting taken off to the hospital, and then she'll come home with little Ricky. And it's like, and then we'll have our son in the show, or baby, or whoever, in the show.
They really had their baby.
Yeah, and
so she was actually pregnant for that. That wasn't fake.
Yeah, it was not fake. She was 100% pregnant, but they had to fight for her to get to play while pregnant. And
why?
Because it was censored. It was supposed to be censored.
Oh, I see.
And again, censorship. And so this led to me pausing what I was watching of, I Love Lucy, and started diving as to why was this an issue. And partly because this taboo was that most of the guys on the board at the time were, from the 1930s. And, again, very scandalous. Like, pregnancy thing, that was a very private, scandalous thing.
Mm-hmm.
All because it involved sex. And so they're like, we don't need to portray it in any way. So it's that whole entire case of old generation, old mindset. And then another thing was that, how we have a unified rating system for shows and movies now. We have PG, PG-13, rated R, and so on and so forth. We have all that, right? They didn't have that back then. That probably didn't come about until maybe closer to the 60s or 70s, something like that, whatever, if I remember right. So for the longest time, we did not have a rating system. And so I started to dive into that. So there were some rating systems for, movies, and then like TV shows, it was all like local like rating systems. So you can also see how it got very confusing. And there's something called the Hays Code, and then like there's the local and national ratings. So, and a lot of the national a lot of the national ratings were actually religious affiliated. So that implied sex and pregnancy and things that was not deemed okay for viewers, mostly younger viewers, which would be teens and teenagers, to see, as well as the type of language that you use, or something as I Like It Hot, how they were showing cross-dressing, even though it was done for the standpoint of view of pretty much comedy and for entertainment, and it made sense why these guys were doing it. It was deemed not okay. So we had a lot of like religious people like really moving to not show Some Like It Hot, and like to not let Lucy be pregnant on her own show. But as I said, they fought to get it. Desi, who was her husband, actually wrote a letter to the chairman, who was Alfred Linos, I think is how you say his name, and had explained what the rating loss would be to their company if they didn't let Lucy film while pregnant and let them have the baby on the show. Because it would have been a huge blow to them. Like, their ratings would have dropped and all their money would have, went. Because Lucy was fully aware of her status and where she stood with the show and everything like that. She knew it was on every television in the nation.
Yeah, no, and like the show would have flopped if they didn't continue.
Yeah. It, like I said, they were bringing it in. And Desi, I think, also like threatened that they wouldn't promote like these type of cigarettes or anything, like from their supporters, things like that. Like, we wouldn't, have this shown, we wouldn't do this and things like that. Like, he made these big threats, and the guy had sent back, funny enough, a letter to the recording studio company and everything, and just point blank told them flat out, don't fuck with the Cuban. Exactly. And so they got Lucy to be pregnant on the show, and
I fucking love that. Don't fuck with the Cuban.
Yeah. They're like, don't fuck them, let them do what they want. That was the exact words, don't fuck with the Cuban. So they got to do it, and so yeah, And it was funny because she did go in labor while filming that episode, and then they rushed her to the hospital. So she finished her episode, rushed out to the hospital, and then they said, next thing you know, here comes Lucy on next up, like, with the baby. So she kept it going.
Don't fuck with
She
the Cuban.
Fuck with the Cuban.
What's funny is Ricky Ricardo was portrayed as like the Cuban, like, you don't fuck with in the show. Like, I find it like pretty crazy, like how like both, like, I know a little bit that like Lucille and Desi, like, they had a lot of problems in terms of their marriage because Desi would be going out, cheating on her a whole bunch and stuff like that. But then on the show, they're supposed to be portraying this very happy married couple, and I think for a time they were. Like, also, this is the time of Hollywood when like going around, like, sex was huge among the film industry people. Like, so huge. And like that was just that time. And I think there's a whole bunch of other issues. I think one of them was he kept coming home drunk and stuff.
Yikes.
And stuff like that. So their actual relationship was hard, but I think they had a solid couple years before things start to really get tough.
Yeah, so you remember in the show, Desi, is shown to own this club, and he sings and performs at this club, right? He actually did have a club in real life that he did sing and perform at and owned.
Oh.
So that also was true. So yeah, he was there late a lot, and drinking, coming home drunk, and I did watch a dramatized like documentary type thing telling of Lucy and Desi, and it came out like recently too. And I think it's called Lucy and Desi or Desi and Lucy or something, whatever. It's a 2000 and something movie, like 2021, I think what it is, or whatever. 2020, 21, or 2019, something like that, somewhere in between there. And there's a scene at the end where she pulls him aside and she asks him about this lipstick on a handkerchief. And he goes, "Oh, that's your lipstick. Remember he said you always kiss me and then you take my handkerchief, wipe it off, and put it back in my pocket for me?" And he's like nodding her head, like, "Yeah, I do that." He's like, "So yeah, see?" He's like, No problem." And she's like, and she pulls out the other handkerchief that's stained. She goes, "This is my shade of red lipstick. This is not. This is more pink." And so she's like, "Who is she?" So she kind of like caught him in that moment. And again, it just goes back to this thing that I was like, y'all really did call these people that. And he goes, "Well, it was just a bunch of call girls, nothing serious." He's like, just a bunch of hookers. And I was just like, y'all really did call them call girls. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah,
so I was just like,
at that time, I think it was very much like kind of like not really like, especially when people are like, it's not serious. I don't love them or anything. I'm just having sex with them. I think like especially during that time, they didn't view it as a problem when it was a problem, but
they knew it was, and this is why they still hid it from their wives, but they just didn't care.
Yeah.
Why do you gotta go get sex somewhere else? But business.
Yeah.
But yeah. So as I said, like when I was writing all these like little bullet notes for me to kind of keep track and remember all this stuff, and I'm like, it's kind of gonna be all over the place. I'm like, it's not gonna make sense, but I'm like, but it's all gonna come full circle, and I promise you guys, you'll get it. So, yeah, I did a deep dive into the golden era of Hollywood, and that's what it all produced. Because I got fucking curious as to why Marilyn could not play the role of Holly, and it was a stupid ass reason.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, thank you so much, Marilyn, for giving up this role to let Audrey have it and let her shine. But I will say one tidbit note that as I'm watching these movies of Marilyn, I'm a little, not a little, but I feel bad for her for the fact that she pretty much fell victim to typecasting because she done so well in that one role, then that all she ever got portrayed as was a dumb, sexy blonde. And pretty much all the roles that she was in was playing that type of character. Hollywood's seen her do it and they latched onto it, and she pretty much didn't do any other roles. Whereas I'm watching Audrey Hepburn's movies. One of them, she's a princess. The next one, she's helping a guy commit a heist. Another one, she's just a secretary type girl. This other one, she's Holly from for Breakfast at Tiffany's, and this other one, she's playing in a horror movie as a blind woman, and she had like so many variety of different roles and could portray all these other different type of emotions. Whereas, unfortunately, Marilyn just had to play the hot girl looking for a wealthy suitor, and it's just like it's unfortunate because you never really get to see her acting ability to its full potential because she unfortunately got typecast.
Yeah.
And she has been in so many. In fact, she's been in more movies than Audrey Hepburn. Audrey actually hasn't been in that many movies. I think she's only been like 16 or 20 movies. Whereas Marilyn, I think hers is like up in the 50s or something like that or whatever. Or 60s count wise is how many movies that she had been in throughout her lifetime.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I can't quite remember.
Some actors, like you'll see that they like don't act in that many movies, but like the movies they act in are big. Like because some get very lucky in like the very start. Like for example, Orlando Bloom came out of like I think theater school and stuff, or he came out of something, and he got into Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was like among his very first movies.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. I think he was like right.
He was like
At
19
the
on it.
end of it, yeah, he was like right at the very end of his acting school and everything, and they're like, "Hey, give it a shot," and he got pulled right into it with all of these other actors who already knew what they were doing, and he was like freaking out about it.
Yikes.
But another tidbit I will say, I went on this whole entire Marilyn rant, was the fact that Marilyn was actually nowhere near being stupid or dumb. She actually had a high IQ and was fairly intelligent. You could actually catch her reading like all the time. I remember like Albert Einstein was like one of her favorite people, and she did excellent in school and things like that. And again, like I said, it's all just an unfortunate Hollywood typecasting and what they did to her.
Yeah. There was there was one more actor that like pretty came up really well. I can't remember off the top of my name because like Orlando Bloom, Lord of the Rings. I think for a lot of actors like that got into Lord of the Rings, they got up very well. Like Lord of the Rings made their career.
Yeah.
And also here's another thing. And also some of them, Lord of the Rings is like, that's kind of like their big movie. That's the movie they're known for. Because some of them didn't move on to go move. Like some grew really well. Remember how a while ago we talked about how like some actors like grew really well? Emma Watson, she pretty much was Harry Potter. She was Hermione Granger for so long. But she grew really well with the fame into her that she is not known as just Hermione Granger. She's also known as Belle from Beauty and the Beast. She's also known as other characters from other movies. And Daniel Radcliffe, though, like recently, I've noticed he's actually kind of finally starting to more or less grow. But it's taken him a long time. Now, Rupert Grint, I haven't seen anything with Rupert Grint in so long. Like all
Yeah,
I
hadn't seen like any of the other actors. Like I've seen Emma like being, active, but whereas the other guys, like I couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I haven't. I'm trying to think. Oh, I have seen one. You know the actor who plays Argus. There's a lot of actors who are in Harry Potter who are in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Quite a few. Like Filch, who played in Harry Potter. He plays actually a pretty big character in Harry Potter, not in Game of Thrones. But yeah. I think like another character is obviously Frodo, the actor of Frodo. He grew really well into his thing, but like you don't really see him in, which I find actually I really find that interesting. How some of like the most influential movies, a lot of the actors you don't see. Like it kind of comes back to what you're saying about typecasting. They were like, in a sense, they were cast for these roles. Like this was their job. This was their big movie. This was their thing. And now, granted, if they make enough money out of it that they can retire and like do things, like fair enough. Some people, and there is a lot of people who really only want to work like one big movie to get that money, and it's the perfect movie for them. And then you don't really hear because that's the height of their career. And a lot of actors are like they want to retire at the height. They don't want to retire when they're falling down.
Yeah, you go out with a bang. Don't go out on a sizzle.
Ooh, is that why a lot of child actors only do a few movies?
Yeah. Well, but also there's another reason why a lot of child actors don't continue is because they don't want to. A lot of child actors sometimes kind of get forced into acting, and then once they grow, they don't get to like that is one thing that was like a lot of child actors talked about is if you're like a really big shot child actor, there's a lot of drama that comes with it that you have to trust other people because you're a kid, you don't know better, so you have to rely on these other people. So like take I forgot his name, but he plays Kevin in Home Alone. He was the richest kid.
Yeah.
But I saw a post
I was actually
about his
reading like an article about him and like
yes.
So yeah, he was literally like he was a millionaire within his first like year of acting from that movie. So like he did it big, and his dad was a fucking asshole.
Well, his dad didn't view that as Kevin's money. His dad viewed it as his money. And and then he was also very abusive to him as well.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate, like a lot of parents just see it as like it's their money. Because they own their child, because I mean you are the current owner and caregiver of that child, so therefore they see it as it's theirs.
And like it's but like that's one example, but a lot of child actors also I think as well is like they don't get to have that kind of regular childhood, so when they grow up and they can actually make a decision for themselves, a lot of them tend to be like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to go do something else.
Yeah, it's like they just want to enjoy life at that point, which is like
which is fair. Like I mean, like if you're a lot of child actors, like that's fully fair. For me personally, it's like I don't really care about acting, but I also like some who want to pursue it, like they do really well because they've been doing it since they were a kid. And then some people start, like me, I started working in the film industry when I turned 18. So right from the get-go, I didn't need to worry about being a minor on a film set, which has its own complications.
Oh my God.
They're like being a minor on a film set is actually extremely complicated. Like they have some because child labor laws, they have some very strict rules about having child actors on set. Like you'll first off, like in terms of like crew etiquette, there's very much different crew etiquette. And then there's also like the amount of time you can work with them. Like you can't force a kid to work more than an X amount of time, whereas you can do that with an adult. It's still scummy, but like that's why like kids kids have to be paid more, because they're a minor, but then there is a lot of like other complications with being a minor. So it's like in general, it's like for me, fully once I was an adult to fully work in the industry.
Yep.
But yeah. How did we get here? How did we get to talking about actors?
I've been talking about like two biggest actors of like coming out of Hollywood for how long?
True. Yeah, true.
Oh God, once again, Len's not listening.
No, I'm listening. I mean, I'm listening. That's how we're talking, because I you said something that just triggered my thought process, and I was just like, yap, 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 yap. And I'm trying to yap it back full circle, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Where's the end of the circle? Where's the start?
Yap it back full circle.
But where's the start of the circle?
I told you. It's like the sticky notes all on the board. They dropping while you're picking some up. The others are dropping.
One dropped elsewhere. I don't know where that one dropped.
Yeah.
Get it together, lad.
Oh my god. Well, there's also another thing. A lot of actors, when they get like their big movie, like that's their standard. Like I know there's a controversy about how some actors get paid a ridiculous amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a hot take, but to me, I do think some actors deserve that. I know it's a huge amount of money. However, once an actor gets paid a certain amount, like your paycheck sets your standard. And once you start working on huge movies where you know this movie's bringing in hundreds of millions to billions of dollars, like it's like the top 10 movies, I believe, all gross over $1 billion. Like, it's fully fair if you're like the main actor for you to get paid a huge check, because I mean that's your fee. And if you get to a point where you can charge that fee, there's no sense on lowering your fee by an extraordinary amount. Like, and actors do it too. They will lower their fee just because they want to work on one movie. But if they get offered, if they have their standard rate set at, let's just say ballpark right now, let's just say a standard rate is $5 million. And that's their standard, and continues like as they get to bigger, higher budget, bigger quality productions, then their paycheck goes to 15 million and stuff. And also like actors, this is one thing, actors who work on shows that keep getting renewed for seasons get paid more than like a regular, like a feature film, because they have additional pay for extra seasons. Because that actor has to keep coming back. So that means they can't be doing other work. So they have to be paid more because they keep coming back to reprise the same role. And this is negating their ability to go work elsewhere.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my take on like some actor. And because like also these actors work for it. Like some of these actors who are getting paid like in the double digits now. Well, it's one thing to say they're being paid in the double digits now, but they weren't paid that for like 10 years. A lot of these actors have been working for 30, 40 years, and only now they are being paid double digits.
Yeah.
That's I think
really
that's like
work towards it.
I think that's what a lot of people forget about like some of the top A-list actors. Now, there are A-list actors who are assholes and don't deserve it, but there are a lot who do deserve it. Because that
reminds me of when you met Chris Pratt.
Like he's an A-list actor. He is paid really well and he deserves it. Like a lot of these actors have been working for 20, 30 years, and it's really only within the last 5-10 years that they're getting paid the big amounts of money. And you hear about it all the time from other actors. Like it's just there's a saying, and I think I've said it before, but there's a saying in the film industry that overnight is 10 years. So when someone says, yeah, it'll happen overnight, yeah, they're saying it'll happen in 10 years. That's the magic number for the film industry, is 10 years.
Really? That's why all the really popular actors are like in their late 30s, early 40s, right?
Yep, exactly. Because they're all in they're all like all the A-list actors. Most of them are in the 30s and 40s, but they're you don't hear about their 20s. But their 20s were.
Very few of them you do.
Huh?
So very few do you do.
Yeah, like but their 20s are probably their hardest working years, because like it's like 30. Okay, now you can kind of relax a bit more because now you got the recognition. The 20s are the working years for a lot of these actors.
Just they got film after film after film.
Well, it's not even that. No, it's not film after film after film. It's audition after audition after audition, getting denied. Like you hear, Dax Shepard. He has a podcast, the Armchair Expert, and like you talk about, like he was living in L.A. for so long, like just going audition after audition after audition, getting denied, left, right, and center, and like a lot of these actors, like they fail. I think the number is like they fail like 10, like 50 times to get that one job. And these auditions are not easy. Like it's not easy to go. Like you need to sell yourself. You need to sell yourself in this role. And if you can't sell yourself, you don't get the job.
Yeah.
So
so here's a fun fact about Audrey and how she kind of got the role for Sabrina, which was the first movie she starred in with the title Sabrina. So she got seen playing in the play Gigi, which she wasn't even planning on being an actress. A woman just randomly seen her, and she's like, "Oh, you're my Gigi," because she liked the way Marilyn looked, the way she carried herself, and that she was saying so. Like Marilyn originally was a ballerina dancer, or she wanted to be professionally a prima ballerina, but due to the war and things like that, and interrupting her training, she couldn't do that. Even though she returned back to training, she couldn't do it. But anyway, so she got called in to try out to audition for this role of Sabrina, and the guys were watching it, and if I remember, I think someone was told the guy, they're like, "Hey, keep the camera rolling, even after we say cut, keep the camera rolling." And he goes, "Well, yeah, sure, fine, whatever, okay." And you see her like actually reading the lines out and things like that. And the guy who's picking out the casting, oh, like she's awful. And the other guy's like, no, just wait, because he's like, I was told to keep the camera rolling. He said, so just wait. And they're like, all right, cut, fine, thank you. And then you finally see her like relax, and she just smiles, and she like falls back on this bed, and is like just so happy and just like stretching. And she sits up and starts talking and everything, and then it's like a light comes on, and she's just shining on the screen. And the guy was like, that's our Sabrina right there. That's what we need. And she was immediately cast for that role. And so it was her very first movie, and it ended up being a hit. And it's like, how many people that young end up literally making a hit immediately out the gate?
Yeah. Very rare, very rare. But it's like, it's also...
And it's like, it goes to show, like, Marilyn had been acting for a while now already, and had already been doing this, and then here's Audrey coming in later, and she got it.
Hell yeah. Good for her.
But,
good
anyway.
for her.
Yeah, but you were saying, Lynn?
I forgot. I forgot my train of thought.
You were talking about the film industry and like how it takes...
I had a thought. Like, because like while you were talking about when you for the casting, directing is also very crucial to bringing out the best in an actor. If you have a bad you could have a good actor, but like if a bad like sometimes like it's fair, like you need to have good chemistry between the director and the actor. You need to know how to explain, how to talk, and it's good if you can like act it out yourself. Like something I've noticed from watching behind the scenes, some of the best directors that I've seen, they're very animated when they're talking to the actors. Like they're like they like kind of get in the role with them and being like, this is like, because like each director, you need to go into a movie with a vision. You need to know, and this is why directors that know the story are the best directors, because they really embody the values and morals of each character. And so when they're directing, they are working to bring out that light. Like casting is critical. Like that's from what I've talked to. Like casting is the hardest part of making a movie, because you need to find that perfect person for a role. And if you don't cast it properly, it's going to be hellish. And then also, you need to do chemistry. You need to make sure if you're having co-stars, co-leading actors, you need to have chemistry between the actors. And if you are trying to work with, like, let's say you're trying to work with like 5 different actors, you really need to know what each character is in order to be able to properly direct. You can't focus solely on one actor and not give much direction to the rest, because it brings down the overall quality. Everyone needs to feel like they need to feel special. I think that's the best word. I think like a good job of a director is to make each actor, I think like especially, I think that's a good skill for many directors if they're working with multiple, is you're treating them.
I think it's when they matter.
Matter. That's the word. Thank you. Yeah, you making each actor feel like they matter. You can't, because they do. Each one matters. Every role matters in a movie. But some directors, I've heard, will focus solely on one actor, like the big name actor. But then you have the smaller name actors, and they're not getting really much love. And it's like you want to equally treat all, because that will bring up the quality of everything. It also enhances each actor's performance. Like, if I was very monotone while Ayumi was super excited, and Ayumi is playing this super excited character role, and I'm supposed to be playing the super excited character role as well, but I'm just, hello, yeah, we're going to go to the park today. It brings down the vibe no matter how hard you try. It brings it down. And like, Yuri, let's say you're trying to be this, like, also pretty high energy. It's like, and one negativity can bring down multiple positivities. So it's like, but if everyone is enthusiastic, well, that energy is infectious and it keeps bouncing off until all of a sudden everyone forgets what they're doing and they're just in the characters. So chemistry is important. Good directing is important.
Yeah. Yeah, that has to be shown, like how like some actors don't get along, but they still have that good chemistry, and it just shows better once they're actually like acting. But then like they can just go their separate ways afterwards.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like being on a set with someone you hate.
Inevitably, it's gonna happen.
If I remember, I think the girl, I don't know the actress name, the one who played Aurora in Maleficent, I think her and Angelina did not like each other at all. But you cannot tell it. Yeah. But again, once the cameras aren't running and things, you couldn't tell. But if I remember, I think she said like she did not like Angelina Jolie at all. Like they did not get along.
Really? Interesting. Yeah, I hear stories about actors not getting along all the time. Oh, here's a good thing that I want to talk about before we end off. The actor's headspace, because I just thought about a thing between like so I saw a crew story a while back about a crew's interaction with Christian Bale. Apparently, what happened was and now I've talked with other crew and they told me about this story as well, and they actually had other insight. So basically, I think it was Christian Bale. It could be another name. So because I'm unsure, I'm just gonna say an actor. An actor was was practicing doing stuff, and this lighting guy came in to fix something, and the actor yelled at them.
Oh boy!
Now the story doesn't end there. So on paper, you'd be like, well, that's a very bad actor not respecting the crew. Well, so after talking with other crew who apparently know about this, so first off, the actor was preparing for an extremely sensitive scene. And getting into the headspace for extremely sensitive scenes is very hard. Anything can distract the actor. That's why it's the first AD's job is to get quiet on set, to make sure as minimal people do things. Now, this person was not supposed to be there. This crew member, they went to go do something when it didn't need to be adjusted. It wasn't approved, it wasn't done anything, they just kind of went and did it. And so it did it broke the actor's headspace, and it was also like it was a very sensitive, high tension scene. So sometimes like the actor's headspace is very much something that like a lot of people don't respect. But like that's why it's a good director and first AD will know about the actor's headspace, and they will work with the crew to be like, okay, I know you have a job to do. He has a job to do. So we need to work together on how can we make this work for everyone, because it is very hard. We're going to be here an extra 2 hours if we have to keep redoing the scene. So help me, help you, help them. But basically the actor, though, following this incident went and like, I guess from what I know, personally apologized to the person, because like it wasn't intentional. It was from what I know, it was a very sensitive scene, and it's just kind of the distraction brought him out of the headspace.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, so
then why do they have so many bad rumors if they're...
Oh, no. It's not a bad... It was just one story.
Oh, just one? Oh.
And it's like, again, it was like, it's a very out of character thing that happened. But it's like, some people will twist it, be like, oh, well, he's bad. No, I can tell. I've heard some crew talk. We like to gossip about our actors.
It's crazy.
Crew
I mean, people gossip about coworkers and things like that. So it's, I mean, you're there all day. You're going to see so.
Yeah, so, I'm not going to mention a name, but there's this one actor who was in a Spider-Man movie. It's not Tom Holland.
It can't be. He's married to Zendaya.
I've heard very, like, from crew, from some actors. I've not heard good things about this actor.
Oh God, you shouldn't have mentioned the movie. Oh no.
Now I'm speculating. Wait, what have you heard?
Right.
I can tell you off the podcast.
I'm
just not gonna mention a name right now. But yeah, like it's like I'll read one thing, or like I'll be talking with thing. It's a rumor, but it's like whispers. You know, crew, like, because the crew are so interconnected. Like it comes down the grapevine. Yeah, I've heard it through the grapevine of a crew production, from production. I heard this about this. I've also heard things about crew. On other sets as well. It's like you can. That's why, like, you know how there's a saying about Hollywood blacklist. It's very much real in both parts, acting and crew. The Hollywood blacklist, when it comes to crew, is word of mouth. If one person, like, if you do a terrible job, like you are really bad and you keep fucking up, that spreads. And then one person, because like, you know how like on my resume, I have it so that you can go and call. Well, it has my names of my bosses. Well, basically everyone knows someone. And if they look at my resume being like, oh, I see this name, let me give them a call and ask them about how so-and-so is doing on so-and-so production. And if so-and-so is like, yeah, he did bad, well, so-and-so will be like, oh, all right then, not gonna hire him, and I'm gonna make sure other people don't hire him. And then that spreads.
Yeah. This is one of those things where connections absolutely matter.
Yeah.
And like good references absolutely matter.
You have a good, like, especially like I've heard like some crew will work with the same people for years and years, and like it's just building up your roster of people that keep coming back to you because you proved yourself. Like, I mean, like most of the work I've gotten this year, I've not needed to submit my resume for once, because it's all been connection based. Someone brought me onto something. Oh, which by the way, She Taught Love, the movie I worked on earlier this year, officially is coming out September 27th on Hulu.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see my name in the credits.
We're gonna have to pause and take a screenshot of it.
100%.
Not on stream though. And he's doxing himself.
Not on stream. Like, no, we can't. We'll be watching
himself enough.
Go watch it on the actual streaming services.
Yeah, it's like you can go watch it, and like if you somehow magically figure out my name, then props to you because I haven't given you any hint except for the movie, which there was like over 100 crew that worked on that movie. So
then you're not very good at hiding yourself. Let's be real, okay? You're not very good.
well, I don't necessarily need to hide myself. I just do, kind of, somewhat.
Yeah.
Not really.
Make up your mind.
We all have our reasons.
Yeah. But anyways,
for the safety of many things, it's not about you hiding yourself. It's for safety reasons.
oh yeah, no, for safety reasons, I don't. Yeah. But everyone, we are approaching the end of our time for this episode of Cloudset. Yuri,
I think he's
Ayumi?
kicking us off the channel, Yuri.
You guys kicked me off earlier. The fuck you mean?
But that's different. You weren't being very helpful. You were like, yum 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 yum. You weren't really like,
Yep,
look,
yep,
look. See, look. I've been sitting here and listening to you guys, and I'm like watching donuts be made.
Oh my gosh.
I'm over here like sitting with cross because I don't need to really be looking at anything while doing so. I have like our Twitch dashboard up. I have OBS up. I have music going. I have Discord. I'm sitting here with my arms crossed, just talking.
Arms crossed is crazy.
Well, it's either I cross my arms or I'm moving them around all over the place. There's no in between. There's no in between. I'm very animated. You guys both know this.
Yes, we know this.
Does anyone have any closing thoughts?
No, just that I did want to get to talk to what Ayumi was wanting to talk to because I was interested in that as well.
Yes, I love the. You really. I love how. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry, no. Because I was having something in my ears and it was very loud. It's always so interesting that I'm always learning something from Yuri, and this time I really learned a lot, and I'm actually grateful for it because Marilyn and Audrey are actually really, really inspirational women. You know, I love women. Love them. So learning more about their history and things like that really made me happy. I just hope that I can make this story really good. Assassination. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
One hell of a fanfic.
One hell of a fanfic.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yo, I used to be the fanfic queen. I was writing fanfics left and right in high school.
Write a fanfic of me.
Say less.
But
damn.
But like
I see how it is. I see how it is.
He might make the fanfic true. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's like, not in a bad way. You're like, you'd be like, ooh, this is so me. Because I would like mold it to be something. Because it's like, as a fanfic is based on you, right? So I feel like you would somehow make it a reality. I don't know, whatever I will put in there, but he would somehow figure out to make it a reality. I'll try to put something he would never do, and he'd be like, that's me doing it. Maybe I should. Maybe
I should. Bet. And we're like, that's not okay.
No, that's the whole thing about fanfic is to imagine you doing it. It's not to actually.
Well, I mean, if you want to imagine me doing it, why don't I actually do it? Yeah.
That's the problem. He doesn't realize the problem.
I see no problem.
Somebody let me challenge this hour, Len.
What?
So this isn't the let me challenge this hour, Len.
There he is.
I will always.
He's always challenging authority, isn't he?
Oh,
the way I just lowered my damn air. I'm gonna shut up.
That's right. You be a good doggy and stay.
Okay, I think that's the end of this episode, everyone. Thank you, Gazers, for coming to episode 18. I will do my best to make sure this doesn't actually get out late. Bye-bye. Yuri, Ayumi, say goodbye.
And now he's
Is he
commanding
commanding us
us?
now? That is no question yet. Anyway, would you like to say goodbye first, Ayumi?
Okay, goodbye, Glazers, Gazers. Thank you for joining us. I forgot their name.
Oh my goodness. Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
Have a wonderful night, everyone. I am being bullied. Goodbye.